everybody. Happy New Year. Welcome to the year 2025. This is Come Lose It with Matt Duncan. I'm your host. My name is Matt Duncan. There's no one else here but me, folks. You know how the system goes. I've recovered from my illness. I know I still sound a little tinge of something. I'm having a hard time fully shaking the congestion at the back of my throat. But I sound better than the last one. Like that episode 123. God damn, I was pretty sick with that fucking COVID. Overall, finally got the negative test about a week ago, over a week ago now. 9 days ago is when we got the negative test. Took a long time to get that negative test. It's a weird thing. You know, it's definitely the first time that I can say I've for sure had COVID. And it mentally does more of a trip than anything. It's the feeling of what's going on, the not fully knowing the ramifications or long-term effects, if you're going to get some form of long COVID. Did the vaccines that you've had in the previous years do anything to help? You know, it's just, it's tough. It's a lot. It brings back all of that trauma from the early 20s that we all went through. The fear of dying from this terrible disease, the fear of going to a hospital and being put on a respirator and stuff like that. Now, I know it's not happening as much as it did back then, but people are still getting sick. People are still, you know, they're having complications when they're getting this. Some people are still dying. There's still death out there. Now, I think the mortality rate's about 3%. So you got a pretty good chance of beating it as long as you're healthy. And I know people who aren't healthy and have gotten it and have been fine. So it's just like anything in life. It's a bit of a Russian roulette. Life's not fair and it might not be for you. But it turns out that it was okay for us. Seems like for the most part, we're back to normal. Trying to get back into the exercise and stuff again. Starting to feel more motivated as I always do at the start of the year. You know, I don't hate on people. I know everyone's like, oh, the gyms are so full in January and everyone's got their resolutions. I don't think there's any problem with that. If people get themselves into the gym, that's great. You know, maybe they only last a month or 2 months or whatever, but they're trying, man. Life is hard. As you get older, as you keep rounding the years, it's like life is fucking hard. Give people a break. And hey, they're trying. They're at least attempting to do something to change their habits. There's nothing wrong with that. I wish everyone the best, because for some of those people, it's going to stick. For some of those people, they're going to wake up on January 1st and they're not going to drink anymore. They're not going to eat so many sweets. They're going to just do a little bit more walking every day, a few push-ups, you know, whatever, you know. I got no problem with that stuff. I used to work in gyms and I never had an issue with people coming in busier. And it was great as a personal trainer, because that's when people are most motivated to get a personal trainer. But that's a whole other life. That's almost 20 years ago. This year, holy shit. This year will be 20 years since I worked at Good Life Fitness, a gym location that's not even there anymore. I think it's technically still there, but they moved off where they were. It must just be like a normal office like it should be now. It was like an office space that they turned into a gym, you know, like really sprawled. It was at Bay and Bloor in Toronto, and I remember the ceilings, because it's an office, the ceilings were so low, and it's like, you do not want people working out in a low ceiling, like a group of people like that, and if someone's sick, oh man, that would have been a COVID nightmare. I think they left that and they moved downstairs or something in the building, and now it's like fucking way open, huge, like warehouse, like ceiling height. So yeah, oh man, 20 years ago. I can't believe that. I remember that I finished college and then I was like, fuck, I got to get some kind of part-time job, pay the fucking rent while I become famous as an actor. I just booked my first commercial like 2 months into having an agent. I'm going to be famous. Oh my God, I'm getting all these auditions for TV shows and movies. I'm auditioning for Spielberg, baby. Wow. I can't believe how many fucking auditions for all these shows and stuff you would get when you're younger, when you're part of that sex that sells. I used to get so many auditions for leads in TV shows and stuff, and never, ever do I get them now. I am in career toilet. I get day player roles only, sporadically. I think I had about 9 or so. Let's just do a quick check. I kept track this year of the audition totals. How many I had 9 TV show auditions, 2 film auditions. So that's 11. That's less than 1 per month for TV and film. I had 33 commercial auditions. I had 17 voice commercial auditions. I had 5 voice TV show, like cartoons or video games. It's for a total of 66 auditions over the entire year. Now, you might say, wow, 66 auditions. I've never auditioned in my life. That sounds like a lot. That sounds like a ton of auditions. I can't imagine 66 auditions. That's a lot of fucking auditions. That's not a lot of auditions for an actor, not for what we're used to. Because remember, we're still in this lockout. We're coming up to 3 years that we're in this lockout. This is crazy. And it's been very quiet from the union. The only noise we get is that there's been some continuances signed by some of the ad agencies that are locking us out. They're signing 1-year continuances. They're trying to get like, okay, we'll go back to business for a year. But this is all part of the chess move, right? Talked about this before. This is a chess move. Their goal is still for us to be making non-union rates. And this is just to give us little wins here, because it does. It's like it really takes the gas off a little bit. I don't know, man. 20 years I've been with my agent, too. Isn't that crazy? 20 fucking years this May, the same agent. That's very rare in this business. Most people fire their agents. Most people are let go of their agents multiple times. You move on, you try someone else. Most of my friends who are actors, they've moved on from their agent many a times. I know some friends that have had like 4 or 5 different agents. I mean, I technically have fired one agent. I had a voice agent for a few years that I got through my TV and film agent, but that was just a formality. They didn't share an office anymore, and I don't even know if that agency is still going or what. It's been really weird, really weird voice agency. I don't know anyone that's still on it. I don't know. I don't fucking know. But all I know is that I got COVID. And then for like the fucking first time, I'm in the group of people. I'm in like the 99, 98% of actors that audition for voice who never get anything. That's us. There's a very big group of us. There's probably about 6 to 10 people in Toronto that book everything. I'm not even kidding. I was told by one of them. He said there's like 6 to 10 of us. Actually at my last in-person audition. Anyway, I get COVID, and before it seeped in, I guess I did a voice audition, and it wasn't great. I wasn't like, it's just another one of these. You take it, you throw it away, you send the tape, because I was already not feeling well. And then as the disease progressed into me and I was feeling horrible and testing positive, I was put on hold, which means that they were preparing to book me. And they wanted me to come in possibly for an in-person callback, which with voice, they don't usually do callbacks. They usually just cast from the first one. But I don't know, maybe things have changed. I haven't been to an in-person voice audition in 5 years, since the end of 2019. So I told my agent that I was sick. I'm still positive. I don't think I can go. So then it kind of changed. We're like, well, can you just do another take? And they just gave me some direction, and I was sounding like shit. It was probably around the time that I shot or recorded episode 123 of the podcast. Did not sound good. Very, very congested. Even now, I don't think they would have liked it. So I tried my best. I was not feeling good, and then I got released. So there it is, the one and only time since I booked my first voice gig, which I think was 10 years ago. Yeah, it was 10 years ago in November. The one and only voice commercial I did. for Cineplex. And yeah, it's just been garbage ever since. As you get older as an actor too, you start to wonder what the fuck you're doing, and you start to realize that as you're getting closer, the conveyor's moving closer to the end of your life, even if it's still a long way off. Maybe if I'm lucky, I'm halfway, as we talked about Hold Line in the last episode. You start to realize it's all bullshit. Everything you're doing is bullshit, and one day you're gone, and then all your shit's someone else's problem, and that's it. And you get a little period of time. Some people will be thinking about you for a bit, and then there's no memory of you anymore, and you're in this infinite wasteland of history where you exist and you're gone, and that's it. Now, the reason I bring up this dark subject is just because I'm like, well, I think I'm punishing myself enough, and I'm starting to feel like this is my last year working with my agent. I think it's time. I think she knows it's time. I think I haven't booked now in a couple of years, which is crazy for me. I haven't done that since the late 2000s. Of course, there's many variables to why that is. There's a lot of blame for myself. I've definitely lost the passion for this craft. And it's tough because when I started, I didn't really think about a plan B, and I really, really fucked up there. And if there's any young actor listening, I fucking mean it when I say, think of a plan B. Sure, try and be famous, try and do your best, but also be an electrician. Also be a plumber. Also, do something that pick up some type of trade skill that you can fall back on. Just in between when you're not trying to make it and be so famous. Because if you don't really do it in your 20s, it's pretty fucking tough. Pretty tough to do it in your 30s. It's a grind. Some people can do it. Very few. Very few. It's a terrible grind. And I think I'm getting to the point now where everything in my life is aging. My parents, me. You can feel this change coming where you've always had these people older than you guiding you and being there and supporting, and then they're gone. And if I'm not having any kids, man, I'm looking down, there's nothing there. So there's nothing up, there's nothing down. It's, you got to find stuff that makes you happy. Fuck it. What do you have? You've got freedom. Use it. Anyway, I didn't think I would talk about it that much. I didn't think, but that's what the new year brings, right? I'm trying to be positive. It's hard. It's a difficult thing, but there's definitely things to look forward to in the coming years, hopefully. I don't fucking know. Listen, one thing that I always like, especially as a self-employed person, I like keeping track of my tax returns and when they're no longer on the clock by the government, and 2018 is now off the clock. Okay, it's not like I'm worried about anything, but I just kind of because I have to keep all these fucking receipts, and now I know that 2018, I can burn those receipts. 2017, I can definitely burn those receipts. I like to burn the receipts. I just like this rotation of 7 years of receipts. That's all my goddamn filing cabinet can hold. So 2018, if you had some funky stuff going on, you don't have to worry about it now. 2019 is on the clock. 2019 was the last year that I lived in Toronto. I cannot believe it has been 6 years this summer that I moved away from the city. Man, time flies. It's weird. This whole pandemic era, I was just going through photos on my phone, and I can't really gauge what the fuck is going on with time. I'm like, when was this? When was that? I'm like, looking at me, I got fucking brown hair. My beard isn't white. Now I'm like, I look like I'm fucking 90. I got a shaved head. It's crazy. So that's why, we're going to end the fitness update. We're going to talk about some of the goals and stuff like that. But, 2019, man, that's a long time ago now. And, wow, we really left that city and didn't look back. And if we didn't have friends there, we would never go back. And we barely do have friends there now. All the friends have left. There's a couple singles there. And that's it. Couple singles, couple Richies. What else is going on before we move to the fitness update? I don't need to tell you. Like, I got Hawk Tua crypto rug pull written down because I just thought it was so crazy. The Hawk Tua, you know her, the meme about talking about spitting on that dick when you're doing a blowjob. She's been huge for the blowjob community, positivity about blowjobbing. She seems very dumb to me. She's just a dumb, sweet girl that's, I think, being taken advantage of a little bit by the those two twink brothers. What are their names? they're not twinks. They're not twinks. Jake Paul and Logan Paul or whatever. She's got the podcast. She started her own crypto and then she did a rug pull and now she might be going to jail. Jesus. She's shitting bricks. She did 100%. She didn't know what crypto was. 100%. I don't even really know. You know, I've been explained Bitcoin many times and I know it kind of, but I couldn't, I don't want to break into a conversation at a party about it. Anyways, Hawk Tua is in trouble. Hawk Tua. I saw footage of this guy being like, hey, can you do the Hawk Tua? She was like at a fucking autograph signing or something. What the fuck is going on in this world? Hawk Tua is doing autograph signings. Anyways, Hawk Tua is like, I don't want to be associated with that anymore. Oh, okay. So what do you have to bring to the table? Because you have the fucking brain of a pea on your podcast. You don't know what the fuck you're talking about. I think the Hawk Tua, you should have done Playboy like Pam Anderson did when she got spotted. Now, I said it before and I'll say it again. That was your break. That was your CFL BC Lions on the Jumbotron. Hawk Tua, spin on that thing. Get yourself in a Playboy. Now you should be doing OnlyFans and you'd be making a fucking killing. But you got roped into all this other shit you don't understand. Hawk Tua. God damn it. Bird flu scare. Are you scared of the bird flu? I'm trying not to be. I'm trying not to be. There's a lot of weird information out there. It's a real clitter clacker kluker of knowledge now. You just don't know what to follow, what's true. Is there a 50% mortality rate if this thing spreads from human to human? I don't know. Some people are saying that. Some people are like, no, it's way less. But it still might be way worse than 3% COVID. Apparently, it would be way worse than COVID, this bird flu, if it spreads. So hopefully that doesn't happen. Hopefully it doesn't get into the upper respiratory tract because that's when we start we start spreading it around. And if the mortality rate is anything close to that, we're fucked. Absolutely fucked. FUCKED. Fitness update. You know, it's like I got a real Jekyll and Hyde. Jekyll and Hyde. The Jekyll and Hyde fitness routine I find these days. I'm either like all in and I'm fucking not drinking, and I'm like eating better, and I'm doing a little bit of that intermittent fasting and stuff, and I'm feeling good. You know, I'm taking my vitamins. But then the Hyde side's like, if I don't get to that workout, it's like, well, maybe I'll just fucking drink myself to death and eat disgusting food. It's one or the other. There's no in between with me. And I am tired of it. I would like to move on from it. So, there's some things that and now that I'm in the post-COVID mode and I've got some energy back, and I'm pretty sure I don't have myocarditis from the disease from that wherever it came from, the fucking market, the wet market. So I'm trying to get back on track and be consistent and get back into weights. And I want to be, by the time the spring comes around, I want to have lost like 20 pounds. That's what I want. So there's a couple of things I'm doing. I'm doing a morning remedy. I'm taking a teaspoon of apple cider vinegar and water with lemon and cayenne pepper every morning before I have my coffee. That's what I have. I don't know if I like the taste. It's like you almost like it and you almost hate it. It's somewhere in the middle where my brain is like, are you drinking vinegar? Is that what we're tasting right now? Are you actually drinking vinegar, or is this like some kind of sweet kombucha or something? It's my brain doesn't know what to do with it, but I get it down. I feel like the cayenne pepper, it helps a little bit. It gives a little spice to that. 3 very good things for you to have in the morning before you start your day, and it's nothing that's going to fucking make you, it's not going to hurt you or anything. So as long as you're diluting the apple cider vinegar, it's only a fucking teaspoon, so it's like but it's powerful as shit, man. Like you can really taste it in that water. So I'm doing that every day. It's supposed to help burn fat. Apple cider vinegar helps with your gut. Like clockwork, I've got knee pain now. I've turned 40 and now I have knee pain all of a fucking sudden. So I had to buy these like sleeves, like the compression sleeves for my knee. I'm like, if I'm going to work out, I like to do squats. You know why I like to do squats? Because it works everything. And I remember this way back in Podcast Vaporway, episode 1, when I was talking to trainer Alex Schwartz. When I was talking to Schwartzy, who's now a doctor, and he's in a band, and he rocks out, and I don't know where he lives. I had a dream I asked him if he still lived in Aurora. Don't know. Alex, if you still live in Aurora, hit me up, because we're not far. Anyway, yeah, he never did another episode. That was 124 episodes ago. But he remember him telling me when I was talking about abs and stuff, because Alex worked out since we were like grade 9, and he's never stopped. That guy was like in the fucking gym every day since grade 9. Anyway, he said, squats, if you want to get good abs and stuff, do squats, because your squats, they work your like whole lower body, and you're going to feel your abs. You're going to need your abs when you're squatting weight. So, and it's true. You can really you can feel them contracting. So I love doing squats, but if my knee's all fucked up, now that's something I got to be careful of, because I don't want to fucking have to get knee surgery. I don't want to tear a fucking ACL or anything. I know I didn't do any kind of injury. I don't know what the fuck it is, but if I do a deep knee squat, I can feel it. It doesn't hurt when I walk, just when I do that deep squat. So I got the fucking compression sleeve. I don't know. It said it has copper in it. That might help. I don't know. Apparently copper helps with inflammation. Could be fucking snake oil. I love a little bit of snake oil. I put it on my elbows. It feels good. So we'll see what happens. I'm going to work out today with the sleeve on and see how it is. See if this left leg can get better. And this is part of the fitness update. I'm just going to throw it in there. But, I love Arnold Schwarzenegger. I've always loved him since I was a kid. I loved his movies. I love that it was just like, it didn't matter if you liked him or didn't like him. Everybody always went to see them. I've always enjoyed him. And like, I love the doc about him. I know he's got his issues and he's been a cheater and he had a child out of wedlock, all this shit. And he maybe in the 70s was slapping ass and stuff like every other fucking famous person we know. But I think I think in his core, he's a good person. I really do feel that. I don't get a bad vibe off of him like I do other people, especially in that industry. Like like Sylvester Stallone. I'm like, I don't know if that guy's such a good guy. So, it's a little different. But Schwarzenegger, I feel different. Anyway, I just saw that he did like a Reddit thing. I don't know how long ago this was. Some guy asked him a question. He was like, I'm feeling really depressed. I can't get myself to the gym. Can you rip me into shape to make me go to the gym? And his response was so nice. It just was, like, I'm not going to do that to you. It's, don't be so hard on yourself. It's very difficult to get yourself into the gym when you're not feeling good. Start small. Just go for a walk. Do a couple push-ups, and don't be afraid to ask for help. And it just was such a nice response, because he thought he was going to be like, stick it around, get to the fucking gym, you fucking idiot. But he didn't do that, I think, because he knows. And here's a very interesting thing. I'm going to play a little clip of Arnie. Just this is him on the Tom Segura podcast in Your Mom's House or whatever, and just talking to him about his addiction to exercise and how he doesn't have discipline. It's just he's addicted, and he's lucky he's addicted to it.
As people age, so many people go, stay away from training. Like, you just see it all the time. Right. But you're somebody who, obviously, you're like the standard for lifting, but you still train, and you look great, man.
But I cannot even take credit for it. I have no discipline.
It's just who you are.
No, I'm addicted.
Oh, you're addicted.
It's an addiction. It's kind of like I cannot even imagine the mornings without riding down to the gym with the bike and then working out. Like, sometimes it doesn't work out because there's a morning schedule right away or something like that. Then I miss it all day and I'm kind of lost in the way.
Really?
So it's like it's an addiction. I have to go to the gym in order to feel good. Like, when I come down with my bike, it's like going through a black and white movie. Then as soon as I work out and I ride back my bike to the hotel and I have some breakfast, it becomes a colorful movie. Everything is more beautiful. Everything is brighter. I look at life differently. Everything is positive and everything like this. So it's just that the workout and having done now something for yourself and having pumped up and having struggled a little bit, it makes you feel good for the rest of the day.
Health news. News that is health related.
Okay, let's sail through a couple of health topics that are kind of hot right now. They're definitely hot. Let's talk about it. The first one, I guess it's not hot. It's hot in my brain. But I'm finding that with social media, I'm not somebody who engages with social media very much. I don't post. I have a bit of a paranoia about all the stuff they tell you about all of your whole life being manufactured to these companies when you're posting stuff all the time. So I don't really post anything at all. I don't really enjoy it. I kind of get a feeling that I don't know, I feel a bit shy. I feel embarrassed. I have a hard time looking back at stuff I've done. That's why I've archived all my stuff on Instagram, because it's like, I don't know if I want to see a yearbook of my life every day. I don't want to see all this shit that I was doing when I was 20 or 30. It's fun to see some pictures here and there, but it's a different time. You've grown, you've changed. You were a child, now you're a man. It's different. It's hard to look back at that shit. And I just, there's an article in National Geographic about what happens to your brain when you take a break from social media. From dopamine deficits to withdrawal symptoms, detoxing from social media can be challenging. This is how to make it work for you. So, of course, with any of the health news topics, I post a link to it. So if you want to read it and go through it, we'll just talk a little bit. But the average person spends way too much. I think the average over 2 hours a day on social media people are spending. That is crazy. Experts warn of the addictive features of social networks. More people are looking for ways to break free, evidenced by a 60% surge in Google searches for social media detox in recent months. And it's going to get worse with all this Trump shit going on, right? Because it's going to get real fucking nasty. So if you want to work on that brain rot now, get that withdrawal going on this shit, now's the time to do it, man. Because it does, you can really feel the dopamine. It's just like, yeah. It's just like licking this little part of my brain with a barbed dog tongue. And you think it feels good, but it's bleeding and it's giving you a lobotomy. It's making you sick. Like sometimes I'll scroll on those Instagram things. I don't have TikTok, but it's kind of the same thing, right? Scroll and you feel fucking sick. You've been like doing it for an hour and you feel sick. Fuck. Experiencing withdrawal symptoms like cravings or anxiety is to be expected as the brain adjusts to lower levels of dopamine. So you gotta wean off that dope, son. Don't be a dopamine head. Enduring these uncomfortable feelings allows our brain reward pathways to reboot and stop the cycle of craving and consuming. Eventually, the cravings will stop, and it will be easier to get through the day without constant dopamine hits. As the days went by, people found that the detox was easier than they had expected. Once they got into a groove, most people enjoyed it. By the end of the 2-week detox, this was a study that happened where social media consumption was capped to 30 minutes a day. Most participants reported mental health benefits such as a greater life satisfaction, reduced stress levels, and improved sleep compared with the period before the study. Is there anything worse than being in fucking bed when you're tired and you're fucking ripping through those fucking screen? Ugh. See, I can't even talk. It's making me into a cotard. So you got to maintain a balance with social media. I'm like the type of person where I am ready to get rid of it completely. Like I have gotten rid of Facebook. I don't have Facebook anymore. I don't have Twitter anymore. I just have Instagram, but then I've got some of these, like I've got Threads and I've got this Blue Sky. I can't get into Blue Sky. I feel like it's a dead zone there, even though people are switching. But still, even with that, it's like I'm reaching for some connection. I can feel it. And the fact that I don't contribute at all makes it more sad, especially when you're seeing your friends and you're seeing their lives and you're not communicating with these friends. You're not talking to them. You're not picking up the phone and calling them or texting them on New Year's, and they don't know your birthday. And so you're just looking into this window. You're just going by their house and you're staring in the window for like 30 minutes or whatever it is, 10 seconds to 30 minutes. And then you just walk away. And that's what we're doing. Isn't that kind of fucked up? It's weird how it's been normalized by technology, that we're able to just go by our friend's place, stare in their window for a while, and then just leave without any response, without them ever knowing you're there. It's crazy. So anyway, if you're looking for a little detox, read this article from National Geographic, and it will help you with the withdrawals, baby. Now, the next thing I want to talk about, big fucking news right now, is the Surgeon General in America wants to call for new labels on drinks to warn Americans of alcohol's cancer risk. Just like tobacco causes cancer, they want to slap those labels on your bottle of Jack, your bottle of Pink Whitney, your bottle of... That's what I'm just trying to think of, all what the majority drink in it was spring break, you know. Your beers, your wines. Think of going into the liquor store and seeing them all slapped with that big, this causes cancer. Alcohol is a leading cause of cancer, a risk that should be clearly labeled on drinks, the U.S. Surgeon General Vivek Murthy proposed on Friday. Murthy's advisory comes as research and evidence mounts about the bad effects that alcohol has on human health, but his proposal for a label would require a rare approval from the U.S. Congress. Americans should be better informed about the link between alcohol and cancer. In particular, Murthy argues in his advisory, noting alcohol consumption is to blame for nearly 1 million preventable cancer cases in the U.S. over the last decade. About 20,000 people die every year from alcohol-related cancer cases. So, yeah, I mean, like, we've known that for a long time, have we not? We've known how fucked up alcohol is. I know it is. I have alcoholics in my family. I have people in recovery. I've definitely gone through periods where I drank more and felt bad about it. Toward the end of my time living in Toronto, I felt like I was amping up a bit. And also during the pandemic, those early years, and I was really trying to balance it out with exercise. You know, I really tried to balance it, but I was having a lot more marijuana and all that stuff too. So it was, we went through it. We were just trying to survive. It's okay. But we do need to know the risks of alcohol. But I'll tell you, the people in my life that continue to drink like fucking wet leprechauns, the fucking wet leprechauns in my life, man, they need to donate their bodies to science, because I don't know how my uncle's still alive, okay? I don't know how he's still alive. The guy drinks like a 60 of fucking rum every couple days. He does pills and all this shit. He's still alive. He's a wet leprechaun, though. He's an Irish guy who can just... do I have the wet leprechaun gene? I have no idea. I think I do a little bit, but I'm pretty sure I don't. So I think I just need to cool it. And I think we all need to cool it on the alcohol, really. It's like when we heard that fucking guy going crazy with 2 drinks a week. I mean, we did this in Canada already like a couple years ago, 2 years ago. He's right. Like, we've been on this. Like, as I've said before, every alcohol you buy should have a little bottle of the actual alcohol with the skull on it, and you have to pour that into your booze. You have to pour it in. It comes with it, and that'll become the routine. You got, oh fuck, where's the little bottle? I got this bottle of rye. There's no little fucking alcohol bottle. And you look at it and you fucking, okay, we got some in the back, and they give it to you and you pour it in, and that's what we're gonna do if I'm a fucking president. Oh my God. So here we are, first podcast of 2025. I'm Matt Duncan. I'm your host, and we're going to talk about some New Year's resolutions. We're just, I don't make one. I have done one before. I like to throw a bunch out there. Feel like you can throw a bunch out there so that like maybe one will stick against the wall and it'll work, right? Because like I want to cook more. I want to eat some less sweets. Man, the holidays really killed me with sweets. I felt like I had way more chocolate than I ever have. Chocolate's a big one for me. Desserts are, I gotta get back into trainer match shape. Can't be having sweets. Can't be having like bread and stuff like that. Just rye toast is the only thing I'm really trying to eat as much as I can. Less drinking. Yes, I want the less drinking. I do love drinking. I love having it in moderation. I love having a drink with friends and us all getting warm and fuzzy. I do. I've always loved it. And I know it comes with risks, but I try, if I could limit any drinking that I'm like really doing at home alone or something like that, that would be good. Less drinking. Let's try not to drink so much. I haven't bought any rye since October or something like that. Got some for my birthday. That's why. But I'm not going to stress. This I've got written down. Trying to get the podcast back to twice a month. I'm not going to stress about it though, because you know what? We're coming up on 8 years since the reboot, since we came out of hibernation in 2017 there at the beginning of 2017. In a couple weeks, it'll be 8 years. Isn't that crazy? Jesus, man. So I've been pretty consistent since then, other than the first few months of 2020 when I was in a deep depressive hole. That was like the only real stretch that I didn't have at least one a month. And I'd love to do two, but sometimes one's enough. Okay. I'm not going to let it get me down. If I feel like doing two, I'll do two. If I want to do one at the end of January, I'll fucking do it. Okay. Or mid-January or whatever, but I'll definitely get one in per month. Cause I think that's where we're at right now with the pod. I wanted to. I'm not making any money or anything off of this. It's a small connection with people. So it doesn't really matter what I do, but I'm going to try because I do like talking on the mic sometimes. My dog is going through a phase that happens with dogs at 8 months, apparently. Love him to death, but he's barking randomly at stuff. His sentences are getting stronger, and this happens around 8 months. But the problem is that he just starts barking for no reason. It's like he's seeing a ghost or some shit. And he's done it once in his crate at night when he was sleeping. That fucking sucked. Woke up to that. That wasn't cool. He hasn't done that since, which is nice. But like, it seems like every day now, at least once or twice, he goes through these fits where it's like he sees a demon. And we can't calm him down. We have to give him treats. We got to like go outside with him. And he's barking. This dog doesn't bark like really at all. He's pretty good about barking, other than these fits. So, other funny thing about dogs, went to visit my mom on New Year's Eve. I didn't even talk about New Year's Eve. Sorry, everybody. Did you have a good New Year's? Did you go see Dwayne Gretzky? I feel like I'm just shit talking Dwayne Gretzky now every time I mention them. I love the guys. I'm friends with some of the founders of it and the originals, and I am not here to be hard on Dwayne Gretzky. Like, they're fantastic. I've like loved it. It just feels like I haven't been to one of their shows in 10 years, but it's a great fucking show, and you should go if you can get tickets. It's fantastic. They do big New Year's show, and I can't think of anything else to do on New Year's. That's where I'm at, because all my friends that had parties and threw big parties in the city, they fucking left. They live in like fucking Hamilton and shit now, and we can't fucking have any parties anymore. So it's Dwayne Gretzky or bust, man. I don't know what the fuck to do, but I don't know if I have the energy for it, because it's a lot of young people there now, and they're learning that music. They probably think that it's their music because they don't know who the fuck Freddie Mercury is and all these other old hitters, And but fuck, man, yeah. I just feel like the last few times I've brought up Dwayne Gretzky, it's been like this, like these fucking guys on New Year's again. You know what? They didn't do a live show this year, and I missed it. Gotta say, because it was like a quiet New Year's. We didn't do much. Just kind of sad at my mom's. We did Christmas on New Year's because just wasn't feeling like going there on Christmas Day because of the COVID, and I wasn't fully negative yet, even though I'm going to actually post something, just an image to show the difference in the faintness of lines on those COVID tests. And you can click on that. You can save the image or whatnot. And it'll just kind of tell you where your viral load is. And I think it makes a lot of sense to me. And really, if it's a strong red line, just stay the fuck away from people. Stay the fuck away from people. If it's a faint line, you might get your spouse sick. You know, your load's pretty low if it's a faint line. But if it's a bright, that first one I did, it was a bright fucking red line. So it was like, stay the fuck away. Anyway, it took a long time for that. I don't want to talk about that fucking COVID anymore, baby. Next podcast, no more COVID talk. Fuck it, baby. Terrible news today. Audrey Plaza's husband, Jeff Baina, died at 47 by suicide. He killed himself, unalived himself. Are we not allowed to say killed himself anymore? What happened with that? Why can't we say killed himself? Is it because it gets... is it something about social media, like it gets flagged or something, and then your video gets taken down because you said killed? I have no idea, but everyone says unalived, which I'm like, I think it's okay to say killed. He killed himself. Like, it takes a lot of fucking willpower to kill yourself. Let's not turn it into some kind of greasy pate and call it unalive. Anyway, that's very sad. I didn't really know who he was. But, you know, he's feeling that late 40 pressure. Who knows? Career. I don't know what the fuck's going on. I feel bad for Audrey Plaza. Who knows what the state of their relationship was? It's a tough thing. You know, if you're not thinking about suicide in your 40s, you are doing it wrong. So, you know, it's always there. It doesn't matter. It might be a 1 on the scale of 10, but it's always there, baby. You got to be. This crazy fucking world as we approach the end of humanity. There's this tsunami series on Disney. Holy shit. You know, I didn't really clock the tsunami that happened in 2004 when it was happening. Maybe because like there was no social media. I was living in a frat house trying to stay alive because I was living in a basement with no windows. So I had to block the window. It was so fucking cold. And I was like in a bunker just trying to stay alive. And at that point, you know, my room was flooded. Some of the frat boys shit outside my door, and I smelled shit for a couple days, and I couldn't figure out where it was coming from. Thought I was a burst pipe because I was like I was in like the fucking boiler room. You had to go through the boiler room to get to my bedroom. It's like a fucking dungeon. Man, if that is the type of shit that you see in murder docs where it's like someone has been kept in the basement, trapped, you know, like that's my first apartment. That's where I first paid rent, at a place like that where it's like you're in the fucking, like someone's been keeping you for 20 years on a chain. Fuck. So anyway, late December of 2004, I didn't even clock it. I don't remember it at all at the time being a thing. I don't remember anyone making jokes about it in comedy school. But watch the series on Disney if you have Disney. It's National Geographic. I'm big on a National Geographic now all of a sudden. I just missed those magazines. It's crazy to see the footage of how far that tsunami traveled. It hit like 15 countries in the Indian Ocean. It hit like Thailand. It hit Sri Lanka. It hit fucking Malaysia. It was huge. Huge. And like wrapped around some country. Oh my God. I was like having nightmares. I watched 2 episodes and I was having fucking nightmares. I couldn't like get to sleep. I was like, all I could feel was that water rush into my head. Oh, crazy. You know what? There's been some dark. This is supposed to be a goddamn new year, new resolution podcast. Positive. We're still alive. If you're listening to this podcast, guess what, baby? You're still alive. They're not playing this in your cryo chamber, hopefully. This is what they choose for the people with frozen heads. Are they playing podcasts fucking Come Lose It over your fucking Demolition Man little pool frozen? God, listen to me. I sound like shit. I'm going to work out. I'm going to work out fucking hard. Let's end it off with some fucking birthdays just to get it, you know, into the fun, happy birthday mood, because we've talked about suicide, someone who's died today. We're not, you know, we're not going to do that anymore. Okay. Okay, we're not going to do that anymore. June Diane Raphael. June Diane Raphael. She's like a goddamn painter, eh? She's 45. Happy birthday. You know her. She's from like Grace and Frankie. She's married to Paul Scheer. There's like a 7 degrees of separation between me and June Diane Raphael. That's kind of exciting. And my friend Morgan Waters worked with Paul Scheer on his show Gale Pile. I worked on Gale Pile. All right, so that's like 3 degrees, right? Who fucking knows? I don't know what degree it is. It's hot in here. She's 45. I remember her from Flight of the Conchords. That's the first time I saw her. She was on, I love Flight of the Conchords, mid-2000s. Remember 2007 when Flight of the Conchords came out? Do you remember that? Everyone was raging about those 2 little goofy Kiwis. Well, she was on an episode of that, and I just remember she looked like she was missing teeth. I don't know if we can confirm. I don't know if Paul Scheer's listening to the show right now. Can we confirm June Diane Raphael was missing some teeth? Looked like a bit of a pirate on Flight of the Conchords. She probably had to get a root canal. I don't know. That's what I remember, just seeing her missing some teeth. Maybe it was a character decision. I don't fucking know. Who else we got here? Matt Frewer. Matt Frewer, 67 years old. I still think he is the best part of Honey, I Shrunk the Kids. The neighbor. He was the dad neighbor. He was fucking... You watch that movie again and watch how great his fucking performance is in that. I know he's done... I think he's Canadian, and he's done some other fucking shit in Canada, too. What was that show called? He was on some, like, fucking... what was it called? There was, like, a big fucking show Matt Frewer was on in fucking Canada. They Shrunk the Kids. What the fuck was it called? Oh, God. No, not Orphan Black. It was like fucking... I want to say like Millennium, but it wasn't Millennium. You know what I mean? It was like early fucking 90s or like mid-90s, something like that. Just go back and find it. And he's done a lot. He's worked a lot. I'm not going to lie. He's worked the fuck a ton. Generation Gargles. Fuck, I got to find it. Lawnmower Man 2. Oh, yeah, he was in Lawnmower Man 2. Dumb and Dumber? Oh no, he's on like a fucking Dumb and Dumber, cartoon show. I didn't even know they had that. You know, he's done a lot of fucking roles. He's done a lot of voice and shit. I gotta find what the fuck this show is called. It's gonna drive me crazy. What was it called? Fucking, Sci Factor? Yeah, that was it. Sci Factor. Yes! Ow! We found it, babe. He was in Sci Factor. Sci Factor, baby. Okay, we'll move on from Matt. Man. We've done 2 people. Done fucking 2 people. Harmony Corinne's 52. That director, you know him. He's a little weirdo. He's a goddamn weirdo. Gummo. Spring Breakers. Gucci. Snowballs. 3 people, that's all I could get to. When the music stops, you put your dick away. What am I talking about? Welcome to January 2025. Trump takes office in a couple weeks. He's worried that the flags will be at half-mast for Jimmy Carter. He doesn't want those crazy Democrats shitting on his inauguration. Trump's gonna go to those flags. He's gonna raise them up before he puts his hand on the Bible and swears not to shit in the Oval Office again. No, he won't shit in the Oval Office again. That is my Trumpy. He poops in a diaper. He stinks. 2 Big Mac, 2 Filet-O-Fish, and a chocolate shake into the diaper. The next 4 years will be a diaper time. Get ready for diaper time. The next 4 years will be time for us to shit.